Hey guys, my name is Jeevanesh, aka Jeev. I'm part of the UCF CSGO team and also the talent manager, and today we'll be going over the CS2 beta notes, patch notes. So I'm looking at the patch notes right here, so let's go over them right now. The first biggest one, maps, Mirage. Mirage has replaced Dust 2 on official Counter-Strike 2 limited test servers, which is awesome news. Since the beta came out about 2 months ago, we've only had access to Dust 2, and we've appreciated it a lot, but Dust 2 constantly gets really boring after a little bit. So the beta kind of died off a little bit in terms of hype and excitement, but now it's back again with a new map and a lot more updates. Mirage looks visually beautiful. I don't think gameplay has changed much really. Everything's really in the same place in the same order. The timings on spawns haven't changed much at all. And it looks amazing. The lighting, everything is lit up. There's lights everywhere. You can never miss your enemy. And I think they're in the right direction in terms of map redesign. I think the visual overhaul of just lighting is enough for it to be a way better map than it was in CS:GO. And workshop tools. So the CS:GO skins community and map community is all built on the players, and the only reason we have access to things like that is because the workshop tools. So CS:GO used to have them. Now CS2 has implemented them. So now CS2 players can now make workshop maps, workshop skins, and workshop models. So that means that they can make their own custom adventure maps. They can make their own custom competitive maps. They can make their own custom skins. And now the cycle is starting to start where the first case that'll come out in CS2 will probably be a fully community made skins, and the new classics will start to roll in. Like if you might be familiar with the Asimov, the Hyper Beast, things, the patterns like that have been etched into CS:GO skin culture, probably roll on to CS2. New things will start. It's gonna be amazing. And another thing, I believe the Zeus has an inspect animation now, which also indicates that we might start having Zeus skins, starting maybe before the big Game comes out, maybe during the beta. Who knows? I have no idea, but we'll see. And this is the biggest, most controversial change, my favorite change, the loadout system and the weapon system. So now, instead of CS:GO, whenever you go into game and you buy a gun, you press the B button or the E button, and you see a buy wheel. The buy wheel is how it's always been for CS:GO for 10 plus years now, and it's what we've all been accustomed to. But now they're changing it to more the Valorant style, where it's the grid system. And I want to talk about the similarities between Valorant and CS2 later on, but first, this is the biggest similarity, where they took the Valorant grid system and they implemented it into their own. Now you don't have to press that many buttons in order to get the guns you want. And with the click of one button on your keyboard, and then whatever gun you want is right there. You don't have to go into gun categories and things like that. But that also comes with the change of a loadout system now. There's three sections: the pistols, the mid tiers, and the rifles. The pistols are obviously just the pistols, the Deagles, Tech 9s, and you're all familiar with that. The mid tiers have now been conglomerated into the heavies, which is the Negevs, the M249s, the shotguns, and the SMGs. And the rifles would just be the regular rifles, the Scar H or the GS3, whatever, the auto sniper rifle, the AWP, the AK, the M4, the FAMAS, the Galils. And the biggest change for that is each category can only hold 5 weapons now. So you can only have 5 types of one of the pistols, 5 types of the mid tiers, which is a huge category now. They've combined those three into one, and the rifles, which is also a big category for the CTs, but less the Ts. So let's see on pistol, you can now have the Glock, which is what I'll obviously have. Everybody needs the Glock. You have the Tech 9, maybe. You could now add the CZ and the Tech 9. You could also do the Deagle and the R8 revolver. So there's a lot more variety and mixed matching when it comes to this style, whatever style you want. Which that means the mid-tier weapons, depending on if you use shotguns a lot, if you use SMGs a lot, if you use Negevs a lot, that's also a huge deal because you can only have 5 of those types of weapons. Personally, I'll probably go more SMGs and maybe one shotgun, but some people don't like SMGs and like Negevs and like having fun with shotguns. So you have to the trade-off there exists now, which is I think is an interesting conversation to have. And the rifles, for rifles, the CT rifles, now you can have both the A1S and the M4A4, which is awesome. I've always wanted to have both available. Sometimes situations where you hold a bomb site and you rather have 30 bullets than the accuracy of the A1S. Sometimes you hold a position where you just need the long range kills. You don't need the bullets that much. You're not going to get rushed on like that. So I think that's a good change. I think that's a good change, but for those Negev enthusiasts, the Swag 7 enthusiasts, they're going to have a rough time with this update. I could tell you that much. But let's move on. Oh, actually, let's not move on. One more thing. The refund system got added to CSGO taken from Valorant. In Valorant, when you purchase a weapon, you could have the weapon when you don't want the weapon, or you made a mistake buying. You can always refund the weapon, which is an awesome modern new system that Valorant invented, and I enjoyed it when I played Valorant. And they took that from Valorant and put it into CS2, which I appreciate a lot. So now, whatever gun you buy, if you buy by accident, maybe sometimes you're tilted from the round before, you go in and you insta buy your armored deagle, you can always refund it and follow what the team is doing, things like that. So that will change, honestly, a lot for just casual matchmaking. You can always be more coordinated with your team. Less mistakes that are more prone to you, a mental mistake or a misclick maybe with your mouse or your keyboard. Those mistakes are now minimalized to zero. There should be no reason you misclick and don't refund. So let's move on to sub-tick movement. So right now in CSGO we have 64 tick and 128 tick. 64 tick is what you play on matchmaking servers on Valve servers. 128 tick is what you play on when you go to third parties like Faceit and ESEA. The professionals play on 128 tick. The industry standard is 128 tick. I don't understand why Valve haven't switched over to 128 tick over the 10 years that like CS:GO existed, but it is what it is, I guess. Now we're on to better things, which is sub-tick. Now there'll never be a delay when you from clicking your mouse to looking at your screen. So whenever you click, there will be a 0.0 second delay when it comes to sub-tick. Before it used to be a little bit of a delay no matter 128 tick or 64, but now it's non-existent. That's the new technology they're implementing into CS2. And they're also just changing it up, making sure it's more precise, making sure the movement keys that they're saying, if there's no input, they're making sure there is no input, and things like that. Oh, volumetric smoke updates. So if you don't know about the new CS2 smokes, essentially when you throw a smoke into a corridor or an open area, the smoke will fill around its environment. So let's say you throw a smoke on Dust 2 long doors. It'll adjust itself along the long doors and it makes sure it covers as much area as possible given what it's going to be working with. So instead of just sitting at the doorway, it could go into the longhouse a little bit. It could go out of the long doors a little bit and cover more area. And that means one-way smokes don't exist anymore, which is a huge deal for sometimes the CTs like throwing one-way smokes to fight maybe mid on Mirage, for example. Now you cannot do that anymore. So I think it's more of an even playing field. It's a lot more fair to the player. Obviously, one-way smokes have never been fair, but everybody's going to abuse them because it's not cheating. It's in the game. So it is what it is, but now you cannot use one-ways anymore, which I think is awesome. And a few more miscellaneous fixes and another huge fix, which is VAC Live. So that means in Valorant as well, it's another thing taken from Valorant. When there's a cheater in your game and the anti-cheat detects it, then the anti-cheat will immediately terminate the match and make sure nobody gets affected. Their MMR or ranking up XP, I guess, or the Battle Pass XP, whatever they want to call it, doesn't get affected. That's an awesome system that will further increase the relikability of players playing the matchmaking instead of going to a Faceit or ESEA. And I think Valve wants it to be that way. They don't want third parties coming in and taking away their player base. So I think Valve wants the matchmaking to be the standard and not anything else. So I like the direction they're headed in. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But the patch notes now, since I don't have CS2 access, 5,000 hours in the game, 1,200 competitive wins. I guess that's not enough. They want more. But I don't have the game. I don't have an access key. So I've only been through social media. Thank God we have social media to see what other players have found out that's not in the patch notes and their reaction to the new maps, the new systems, and all that. So let's look right into that. Thor CS tweeted out, do you remember this poll from CSGO or CS, the company themselves, the tweet, asking everyone which order they purchase things in? They listened and they made the buy menu exactly similar. So this was I think almost a month ago, if I'm not mistaken, when they asked, how do you guys buy your Uto? Do you buy the equipment first, the weapons first, the nades first, in some other order? But the biggest vote was first you buy the equipment, like your armor and kit. Then you buy the weapon you want. Then you buy the grenades that accompany them. So that's the order everybody buys them, and that's the order I buy my things in as well. So they saw the poll, they listened, and now the grid system is now on the left is the equipment. Next to it is the pistols. Next to it is all the weapons, and then finally it's the utility, the grenades. So this is quite nice because usually CS:GO has always been the left out Valve game. Fun fact, Gabe Newell has never been to a CSGO major ever, even though Dota 2 will always appear at the Dota 2 ones and things like that. So we've always felt like the left out one, and now I mean they're listening to us, they're paying attention, they're doing a good job, and it feels like CS2 is the perfect change that the community needs, and I can't wait for more things they add. I can't wait for the responses. I can't wait for them to listen. It's gonna be awesome. This game is made for the player. It's gonna be amazing. Oh, Ollie CS tweeted out some more Anubis in CS2. So I believe CS2 in Anubis, this was like some sort of data leak or something because Anubis you cannot play the map at all. Offline, online, you cannot play Anubis on CS2. So the map looks absolutely stunning. The water, it's all about the water graphics, baby. It looks amazing. The water and the lighting are two big highlights. Um, Anubis has some areas where are dark, and also there's always an Asian skin controversy where sometimes you have a black Asian skin, you have a green Asian skin, things like that. It blends into certain areas, like a yellower Asian skin. So with the extreme lighting, this is also on Mirage. The extreme lighting, everything is so lit up. You could see who's where, who's hiding, who's running, who's um who's who essentially, and you'll never be able to blame the game for you missing a fight or not being able to see somebody because you could see more than you need in the new maps honestly on CS2, which I'm really excited about. I can't wait to play that. Oh, and here are some examples of people's tweets, or people's tweets reacting to the new changes to the buy menu. Like I said before, the controversies have been around this buy menu. A lot of people have opinions, and I like reading them, but I also have opinions on their opinions. So you're not Justin says Valorant and CS:GO are both good games that complement each other and make gaming better. So before I said I want to talk about Valorant, I do want to talk about it now. Competition is always beautiful when you're competing with yourself, within yourself maybe, with your brother, your sister, your friend. In this case, a company versus a company, and their heads games are head to head. They attract the same player base. It's the same shooter, kind of the same shooter type, it's the same mechanics. They want to fight for each other. So, for example, there wouldn't be a Valorant if there's no CS:GO, and I firmly believe there wouldn't be a CS2 without a Valorant. The competition is quite nice because that means both companies are competing to make the better game, which means the user has a better experience with both games because they're competing, they're watching a fight going off and they're showing off their product, which is the tip of the iceberg or the cream of the crop, one could say, like of each company. This is the best thing they can produce, and they want to show it off, and that's beneficial for us. This refund system that Valorant invented is so awesome. CS:GO players have always been asking for it, and I think Riot listened to them and put it in their game Valorant. And now CS2 can take that and put it into their own game. And I love that so much. I think it's awesome. I think it's natural. I think it's beautiful that they compete for each other. And that only benefits us because we're not working for Valve or Riot. We're only looking at the product they make and indulging in the product they make. And if they compete against each other and make the best product they possibly can, that only benefits the user. So yes, I think it is. This does make gaming better for both CS2 players and Valorant players. All right, at MoneyJ Hatv says everyone is in go back. Nobody is brave enough to say it, but give me the 1.6 buy menu. So in 1.6, it was a buy menu where all the gun categories would be listed out on the left, and the guns would be listed out on the right, or armor, equipment, whatever, utility, or whatever. So you would click on the category and buy the gun. So it seems like CS 2 went back to this, saw the square grid system, and took out the categories and just placed them right in front of you. So you don't have to click a category button in order to access the weapon. You just access whatever weapon you want right there. Just sick in my opinion. Awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. I can't wait to play that CS2. I can't wait to use that menu. I can't wait to refund a gun I bought by accident. Uh, it's gonna be a sincere feeling when I see that, and when I play a game and my teammate buys and he can refund and I can refund. I can't wait for that. It's gonna be awesome. And honestly, I mean, don't go back to the 1.6. I'm glad we were somewhere back in the past and we took that and made it better. I mean, innovation is always what we want, right? So, yeah. Okay, guys, I think that's all. Patch on social media has covered everything. The patch notes have covered everything. I think we've hit all bases there. I've been Jeevanesh, aka Jeev. I'm glad you. I hope you enjoyed this video at least, and I'm glad you enjoyed this video if that's the case. Um, if you are a player, a CS:GO player, transitioning to CS2 player, we are always excited to have you guys on board on the UCF team. You can always try out during the fall and spring. So maybe get into the game. What if you're a prodigy? What if you're insane at the game? Who knows? Get into CS:GO, get into CS2, enjoy it. every second of it. And if you're good, you can come try out, come see what's up. Or if you don't think you're good and you're underwhelming yourself, I mean, come on, try out. Let's see what's up. You know what I mean? And if you want to support us, we always play games in the fall and spring, and we stream them as well. So you can always check our chat and support us. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this game. I hope you guys are too. I hope this video, reinstalls that excitement you had a few months ago when the news just came out. And yeah, I've been Jeev, and thank you for watching.